family and friends. I'm going to read you a letter from a Canadian soldier's letter home. It's his final letter home. Walter Dowden was a young man of 25, hopeful but practical as he prepared to land with the Allied forces on the beach of Normandy in June 1944, and wrote his parents which would turn out to be his final letter. Dowden had left Brantford, Ontario for England in 1941, where he trained for war and met a young woman named Ray, whom he had hoped to marry after the war. Before sailing to France, he was promoted to the rank of Lance Sergeant. Dowden survived the assault on the beaches on June the 6th, and 3 days later had made it as far as a crossroads named Puteaux-en-Bessin on the road from Bayeux to Caen, where he was shot and killed in battle. Dowden is buried in Rise War Cemetery, France. In his final missive, the 133rd of his letters home, he speaks of his fear, but also his hope for the future. And with a full understanding of the history of the moment, before signing off with a cheerio and au revoir. His letter is as follows. Dearest Mom and Dad, I'm writing this week's letter a day early, just in case I don't get a chance to do any writing tomorrow. No mail has come in during the past week, and we don't expect to receive any of them in for a few days. Since my last letter to you, I have written to Alex, Joe Martin, Gran and Granddad, Ray, Joan, Fern, and Dorothy, in that order. At this time, I find myself staring into space, wondering what I can write about, what I can say to you folks at home. Much will have happened by the time you receive this. The radio and newspapers will burst forth with news of all the latest happenings as the war goes on. But the radio or the newspaper could not convey to you the thoughts that I have at this time. I'm not sure that I can tell you what my thoughts are, or even what I want to tell you. You and I have heard of many chaps who, under circumstances such as this, write very touching letters to be forwarded to their loved ones, just in case. I must admit that I thought of it myself, but decided against it. As you know, I am a very practical person. I am also a bit of a fatalist, feeling sure that what is to be will be. That whatever happens always happens for some good reason. Although we may not realize it at the time. Great things are in store for me, for us. I will speak only of myself. But what applies to me also applies to thousands like myself. I am part, however small, of a great force in which months to come will bring the war in Europe to a great and victorious conclusion. It will be hard, yes. I realize that and am ready for it. You may wonder if I'm afraid. I have wondered about that myself, and I've decided that if I do feel any fear, I must be overrun by other emotions such as curiosity, the will to fight and win, and many other things which I am finding awfully hard to put into words. Of this I am sure, I am not afraid of death. I believe sincerely in a hereafter, and I have no regrets on life I have led on earth. I have had more than my share of joy and happiness. I have loved and been loved in return. My friends have been good in many of my experiences of life, although they would not seem important to others, have to me been most pleasant and interesting. So although I do not expect to go to the great beyond until I'm an old man, I am ready for it when it does come. As for being wounded, well, I thought about that too, and have decided that a hospital could be a more pleasant place if there are many nurses like Ray around. She begins her training period this month, you know. Now, I'm wondering what your thoughts are after reading my letter this far. Have I been too practical? Too outspoken? I don't think so, for I have only spoken my thoughts. It's like this, folks. Sid and I, along with the rest, have a job to do. We'll do that job and we'll look after ourselves while doing it. I know it won't be easy for you folks back home, but we do ask you to keep smiling and not to worry, just carry on as usual for us. Monty himself says that we can beat Germany in 6 months. Think of that, just 6 months if all goes well. Of the Canucks, Monty is quoted as having said, "The only thing the Canadians will stop for is to read their mail." He can say that again. I am sorry if this letter sounds rather screwy and perhaps a little too outspoken, but it's surely a screwy world which we are living in just now. But gives us just one more year, just give us one more year, and we'll straighten it out, this time for good. Well, enough of that. I suppose you are proud of your Lance Sergeant son. You can be very bit of proud of our Sid, for he too has an important job to do, and he will do it well. And now there doesn't seem to be much left for me to say, but once again I ask you, all of you, not to worry too much. Keep the home fires burning, and with all of us lads over here, look forward. Sorry. Look forward and hope and pray for that glorious day when we will all be together once again. Happy, contented, and free to live our lives as we wish. Keep the letters coming, gang, and I'll write whenever I get the chance. I'll say au revoir for now, and until next time you hear me, cheerio, cheeries, and darn it all, keep smiling. God bless you, Mom and Dad, and all of you. Lots of love. XXX Walt XXX. Thank you very much.